Glampers, one guess where I am. Alright, so we brought the rig in for some repair stuff. They asked if I bring it in on a Friday, so I did, and wow, they are really taking care of every issue we had. Let me get into the sun so you can see me. Crazy. I was only expecting one thing, two things to be fixed, and they're fixing everything that's wrong with the rig. And we'll go into that here later, but you know, this company right here, fantastic. Welcome back, Glampers. We are at the Those Who Glamp Together camper bay. Made it back from the manufacturer, east to west. I want to go over all the repairs they made. They wouldn't let me film, and I totally respect that, but I can at least go over what was wrong and then how they fixed it. So as we're in our camper bay, we're obviously not at the Frog Rally. Due to Joni's father's situation, it's very day to day, we decided to cancel the rally. I doubt we'll get reimbursed. They told us they won't reimburse us the money. A lot of money out, but money's not important. It's more important about family. So what are you gonna do, right? I can't blame them, but it still stinks. We were really looking forward to going to that rally. All right, so first of all, the way this all came about, we had scheduled to go to the Frog Rally, and they do repairs there, and you have to fill out a form, which this would have been our first rally, had no idea what you had to do. It's our fault for not knowing this stuff or researching, but you had a deadline of August 1st to have that paperwork filled out for them to do repairs at the rally. So I emailed East to West and asked if they were going to be at the Frog Rally. Mainly I wanted the repairs done from the flat tire we had going to Shenandoah. And I was going to see if they can maybe repair this slide, but we'll go into all that later. But I really want to thank East to West, Ronnie Robinson, the plant manager, and that whole crew that was there working that day. Man, they did a fantastic job. Great people, a great company. So let's get on to what happened. So the first, right off the bat, our bedroom slide right here. This top cable, we have a cable slide. The top cable on that was sagging, and the slide was coming in sideways. So one side would hit, and then it would have to pull in the other side. And with that, it tore our laminate floor in the bedroom. We had a good 4-inch hole in the floor. But this ended up, this side of the mechanism was completely replaced. They tried to tighten it, and it wouldn't tighten. Every time they would close it, open it back up, it would loosen itself back up. So they replaced this whole mechanism on this side. Okay, so the second thing they fixed, back about 2 months after we received this rig, well actually as soon as we took it out, we realized our black tank flush wasn't working. Okay, so the water just wouldn't go in. So about 2 months after we had it, we took it down to our dealer. They repaired it, but they left our underbelly a mess. I mean, it was just destroyed. And that was something they repaired. They replaced the whole underbelly from basically the tires up, fixed the things that were damaged, not damaged, but not done right underneath, like the manifold for the propane manifold. They've broken it off of the bolts holding it on and just let it hang. So they repaired that and put a whole new underbelly on. So fantastic job. Okay, if you've seen our Shenandoah Valley National Park video, you know we had a tire incident that ripped this whole skirting off, ripped off this marker light, and actually damaged one of these, one of our decals. So they replaced everything on here, even put a brand new decal on. They had one guy, as soon as we pulled in, one gentleman literally did this whole job by himself. He did a great job. Okay, so like I said before, the bed had torn a hole right here in the floor, so they replaced the whole floor. But part of the issue was this was a first-year model, and the bed being on a slide, they attached rollers to the bed that rolled across the floor, and when the bed slide was coming in at an angle, that roller caught the floor and pushed a big hole every time we opened and closed. So what they did on the bed, they replaced the rollers and put them to the floor, so now the bed slides across the rollers versus the rollers rolling across the floor. And then they replaced all the linoleum in here. So it looks great. Everything's working fine here. And also, as we were, you know how bad the roads are. We're going down the roads. Everything's bouncing. This mirror just came loose. It didn't fall out and shatter, but it was loose. And at night, we would see light shining through the mirror until the lights would go off. So they fixed that mirror. And is there anything else in here? I think it was it. The mirror, the bed, and the floor. So the next repair they did is this wall right here. We got our slide, our living slide here, and of course our entry door. Every time we would open and close this slide, this wall would move about 1/4 of an inch. We pull it in, it would move in 1/4 of an inch. We'd put the slide out, it would move out 1/4 of an inch. They basically forgot to bolt it to the frame. So it got repaired. They fixed it, bolted it to the frame. This was the quickest repair. One gentleman came in, boom, boom, a couple bolts, and it was done. And he installed. Then he came to me and apologized for it not being done, because it was what had happened was they weren't running production on Friday. So the plant manager, all the unit leaders of the plant had to be there anyway. So they were in charge, like the electrical girl. Sorry, I don't know all their names. The girl in charge of all the electrical, excuse me, that team, she was there. Body. Paint, all that stuff. Everybody was there. So the gentleman that does the walls, he just went in, bolted it down, came out, said it was good. And we tested it, and it is good. It's not moving. Next, here, our faucet. It was tight, but up here, there was a lot of movement. Like, you could pretty much pull this out and leave the base. Surprised we didn't have any leaks. And I just told him, I said, maybe I couldn't find a way to get it tight enough. They just replaced the faucet.
Biggest issue.
All right, our final issue that we had fixed, which was actually the largest issue for us anyway, is we upgraded to the two-way fridge, electric and propane. Our fridge, as we was camping, one day it would be 34 degrees. 6 hours later, it would be 42 degrees. The freezer was working fine. The fridge wasn't, and if I don't know if we recorded it or put it out there, but this door here has a flap that folds so that this door can seal. Well, there's a track right up under here that this door hits and it folds it closed. It wouldn't hit that, so I put some spacers underneath that track, and it worked, but it still wasn't holding temperature well. And I don't know if it was because it created more of a gap and air coming out. So they just replaced the whole fridge. Literally just gave me a brand new fridge. Now, with that said, when they got the old fridge out, they were trying to understand why it wasn't working. Someone missed the drain and didn't pull it out through the vent on the outside. And I don't know if that would have caused it, but they seem to think that that would have caused it, that it wasn't draining properly, and which would cause it not to cool off properly and whatever else was happening. So with that said, the company did the right thing, and they gave us a brand new fridge, and right now it's holding 35 degrees and it's running fine. So lastly, things they didn't have to do but they did. They put two people that were just there to help washing the whole rig. And I told Ronnie, the plant manager, I said, Ronnie, you don't have to do that. We didn't come here for that. We just came mainly for the repairs on the slide that was damaged from the tire. And he was like, no, you're not leaving with a dirty rig. I said, but it's going to get dirty on the way home. He's like, well, it's going to be clean when it leaves here. So man, that was fantastic. And one other thing he did was he sent somebody up on the roof to check the seal, all the sealer on the roof, and they recaulked a couple things just because they looked a little suspect, which we would have probably gotten to towards the end of this year. He just went in and had somebody do it. So man, I am just so appreciative of how they handle things. And with the bed slide, they were struggling so bad, they actually called somebody from home, and he came into the plant to repair it. He was their expert on those bed slides. So I just can't say enough how impressed I was that day that they would just take care of me, little old me, nobody, and fix our rig like that. So that, We hear a lot about all these other companies like Grand Design and that take care of their customers. Well, East to West is one of those companies that will take care of their customers. And I'm living proof of it. So before we went to the plant for the repairs, we'd actually dropped our rig off to our dealer. I'm not going to name the dealer. I actually set a scheduled time to drop it off, which was a month after I scheduled it because they couldn't get us in. It was for our final warranty work, the refrigerator, this wall, all these little things. Everything that I mentioned they repaired, I had already taken it to the dealer to have repaired. Well, it sat there for a week, and we were getting ready to go on our camping trip with our grandkids. So we called them and said, hey, is it all right if we grab the rig so we can go camping with our grandkids? And they said, sure, we haven't got to it yet. And I'm like, what do you mean you haven't got to it yet? Yeah, we probably won't get to it for like 6 weeks. Which makes me think, why would I want my rig to sit for 6 weeks if you're not going to look at it? Why did I have an appointment to drop it off if you're not going to look at it? Now, I was told when we picked this up from our dealer, straight from the salespeople and from the repair people, that the way they do things is we make an appointment, drop the rig off, they assess what needs fixed, order whatever parts, and then we pick it up again until those parts come in. That didn't happen. And they act like they had never even said that to me. So my first thing for anybody here, be proactive. Be proactive. Contact, if you've done all the right things by going to the dealer, contact your company, whether it's East to West, Grand Design, any of the other ones, Keystone, any of them, contact them. My guess is they're going to want to take care of you, because working in the auto industry like I do, word of mouth is powerful for sales, and they do not want disgruntled customers. East to West did such an amazing job and treated me like I was their only customer, and I was so impressed with that. So that's why I reached out to the dealer or the manufacturer like I did, because the way the dealer was handling it. The dealer told me, well, everybody does it that way. And my response was, what does that mean for you? You don't have to be like everybody. You know, I always grew up, my dad said, if your friend jumps off a bridge, are you gonna do it? No. Why do we have to be like that? Let's take care of our customers, dealer. So while we're sitting in the factory and they're doing the work and I'm trying to help, I actually helped put the fridge in because they had to take it through one of the windows on this slide. They just didn't have enough strong people, so I just helped lift and push it in and carry it from the inside. But Ronnie had to go take a call, and when he came back, he's the plant manager. Look what he brought me. He didn't have to do that, but I love it because I'm a hat guy for sure. And I just want to say, our relationship with East to West started long before we ordered a rig. Long before that, if you remember, we have videos where we did our first tour of an East to West Tandara because we'd never heard of them before. They were literally brand new. Then we started researching more because we loved what we saw. Then we took a factory tour, and Mark Kroll, who is their sales manager, regional manager for sales in this region, we were just so impressed with everything they do on these rigs. Yeah, we've had issues like everybody, but it's one, how you handle it. You're going to have an issue on any rig you buy. None of them kept us from camping. That was the main thing. None kept us from camping. And then two, be proactive. We reached out to them and they've treated us like they knew us forever and fixed our issues. So it's been a fantastic relationship up to this point. We love our rig. We're going to continue loving this rig because it's going to take us to so many fantastic places that I can't even imagine. So first of all, thank you East to West, and thank you guys for watching. And for those of you who are watching that aren't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free, and it really helps us out, gets our videos out to other people. So thank you all so much. Happy glamping.